You know that feeling, right? The deadline's breathing down your neck. Your to-do list is a mile long and you know exactly what you need to do, but you just can't. You're frozen, stuck. You find yourself scrolling on your phone, organizing your spice rack, literally doing anything except the one thing you're supposed to be doing. You call it laziness. You blame your willpower. But what if I told you that laziness is a lie?
All right, let's get right into this. Because according to psychology, what we've all been taught about laziness is just plain wrong. In this explainer, we're going to tear that idea apart and uncover the real, biological reason you procrastinate. And here's a spoiler. It's not a character flaw. It's actually a survival instinct.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's that super frustrating paradox that so many of us live with every single day. We've got the plan, we've got the tools, but when it comes time to actually do the thing, the engine just stalls. It feels totally illogical. It can make you feel kind of crazy even. But the answer isn't in some fancy productivity hack. It's hiding deep inside your brain.
Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just some feel-good quote to make you feel better. It's basically a diagnosis. That feeling you've been calling laziness is really a signal. Your system isn't being lazy, it's sending out an SOS because it's been pushed way past its capacity.
So, okay, if it's not a moral failing, then what in the world is it? Well, think of it like a biological misfire. It's a misunderstood signal coming from a very, very old part of your brain that we just need to learn how to read. So it's time we met the real puppet master behind your procrastination.
Yep, you heard that right. The source of all that guilt and frustration isn't really you. It's a tiny almond-shaped cluster of neurons that's acting like a Secret Service agent who's had way too much coffee. It's an overprotective bodyguard who sees a threat around every single corner.
And here it is. Meet the amygdala. This is part of our primal brain, our ancient alarm system that evolved for one core purpose and one core purpose only, to keep us alive. It's constantly scanning for danger, ready to trigger our survival responses. And honestly, it's brilliant at its job. Maybe a little too brilliant for the modern world.
And this is where we have to totally flip the script. Your amygdala isn't trying to sabotage your career or ruin your grades. It's genuinely trying to protect you. The only problem is, its definition of danger is a little outdated.
Okay, this right here is the absolute key to understanding everything. Your ancient brain literally cannot tell the difference between the threat of a saber-toothed tiger and the threat of a 20-page report that's due tomorrow. That feeling of overwhelm, the pressure, the fear of failure, to the amygdala, those are all predators, so it does the only thing it knows how to do. It sounds the alarm.
Now, we've all heard of fight or flight, but there's a third, often forgotten response: freeze. You see, when a threat seems way too big to fight and it's too close to run away from, the most effective survival strategy is to just play dead, to shut down, become invisible, and wait for the danger to pass. Sound at all familiar?
So here's exactly how that chain reaction happens. That giant undefined task on your list? Boom, your amygdala tags it as a threat. Next, it floods your system with stress hormones, and your executive functions, the smart planning part of your brain, go completely offline. You aren't choosing to scroll Instagram. Your body has initiated a system-wide shutdown to hide from the threat.
So let's be super clear about this. That feeling of being totally paralyzed is not laziness. It is a legitimate, deeply ingrained survival instinct. That's why you can't just power through it with willpower. But you can outsmart it. You can learn to work with your brain's alarm system instead of constantly fighting against it.
The secret is stealth. You have to sneak past your brain's overprotective bodyguard. And you do that by making your next action so ridiculously small, so completely non-threatening, that the amygdala doesn't even bother sounding the alarm. This whole approach is the core principle of a method called Kaizen.
And it is so simple, it almost feels like cheating. Don't think, write the report. Just think, open the document. Don't focus on cleaning the whole house. Nope, focus on putting one dish in the dishwasher. Make that first step absurdly, almost laughably small, and then commit to doing it for just 60 seconds.
And here's why that little trick is so incredibly powerful. A tiny action like opening a file or writing one single sentence is just too small to register as a threat. It flies right under the amygdala's radar, so the alarm never goes off. The freeze response is never triggered. And once you start, well, momentum becomes your new best friend. This is the most important thing to take away from all of this. Please, let go of the shame and the guilt. The next time you feel that pull to procrastinate,
Don't see it as a failure of your character. Recognize it for what it truly is, an ancient protective response just trying to do its job.
You know, this understanding really is everything. It changes your internal monologue from, I'm so lazy, what is wrong with me, to, okay, my amygdala is freaking out, this task must feel too big, I need to make it smaller. You stop fighting yourself and you start helping yourself.
So let's end with this. Right now, instead of seeing that giant mountain of work in front of you, what is one tiny pebble you can move? One single ridiculously small step you can take in the next minute to bypass that alarm and just get started? Because the answer to that question, well, that's the answer to everything.